And just before we get back to the Australian part, so what did you notice, I suppose, the differences between working here in Australia before you went over to the US, and then you're in the US, you said it was a big eye-opener. Like, what would you say was so different about working there?
I think it was and today it's still, I think I still find this, it's just the size of the, the market and the opportunities over there are so huge.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit more of an open playing field. So, it's sort of the ability to be able to find and take opportunities is probably potentially a bit easier because it's so big, so much going on. And so I think a little less stuffy in some ways, a bit more free-flowing, a bit more kind of whoever can run the hardest and the fastest is going to win no matter what. Sort of. I don't necessarily think that's always the case.
Yeah.
Here,
yeah. And so this is, if you went over around the sort of 97 area, this is just before San Francisco starting to pump out the huge companies. This is just before Google and Facebook. I think we're about 10 years before them at that stage. Did it already have sort of a vibe then that this is going to be, this is going to create huge companies?
Yeah, I mean, that kind of that period that, 98, 99 and in 2000, it was manic. The city was just crazy. It was, we would go to look, just to get an apartment, right? So there was I can't remember the name of the website, but there's a website everyone would go to where they would list apartments for rent. And you would literally have to respond to one of these ads to get a viewing within like 20 minutes, half an hour, like before they just say, too many people are going to come. So you'd then rock up to try and go to check out
competing for apartments.
These, like one bedroom apartment. And there would literally be 20 or 30 people looking at this one bedroom apartment.
Wow.
And there'd be people there with their rental form, their form filled out with their deposit, ready to go, and then trying to add get. So it was just crazy. You could never get a cab. Traffic was crazy. You'd have to drive from San Francisco down the bay, Palo Alto, or Menlo Park. It'd take you an hour. It was manic.
Right.
And then the crash, the bubble burst. And then there was this 12 months of layoff parties because all these tech companies and life sciences companies were then kind of running out of money and laying people off, and there was then just people who were just hanging out in San Francisco until their money ran out and just going to these these layoff parties that were then as epic as the parties beforehand.
Right, it's an interesting thing to celebrate.
Yeah.